Hi, everyone. My name is Diane, and today I'm going to be taking you through advanced prompt engineering. Hopefully you watched our Introduction to Prompt Engineering video or attended one of our ChatGPT Enterprise webinars. Ideally, you are already familiar with the basic concepts of prompt engineering. In this video, I will outline more advanced techniques and demonstrate how they can be used to achieve more precise and nuanced responses. So let's get going. To review, prompt engineering is the process of designing and refining the language we use to get the best output from a large language model. Prompts provide ChatGPT with the relevant context, information, instructions, and examples to help it formulate the most relevant response. In our Introduction to Prompt Engineering video, we talked about the three things a good prompt requires: context, role, and expectations. Context grounds the model in the information required to complete the task or answer the question at hand. Role allows it to adopt a persona based on its understanding of what a marketer does or an engineer. And expectation helps the model understand how to structure its output. Are you looking for a sentence, paragraphs, bullet points, JSON, etc.? I want to quickly talk about why prompting matters and how the words we choose steer the output that the model produces. You see here 4 relatively similar prompts, which all have roughly the same context, but the desired output for each of them is different. So I hope this helps you see how working backwards from the output you're looking for to help inform how you prompt is really important. If you're looking for a full detailed biography of a president, you'll need to write your prompt in such a way that you're very specific. You can see this last prompt here: write a section of a biography of the 6th president of the United States, focusing only on his first year in office. If you wanted that output, but you started with write a biography for each president of the United States, it's going to provide you with 46 one-sentence summaries. So you really need to think about what you're looking to achieve and whether any single prompt can get you there, or if you need to break your prompt into a series of prompts. Let's dig into the prompt engineering techniques. I'm going to start with refreshing on why persona is important. Without adopting a persona, if we ask ChatGPT to summarize perfume trends in India for the past 3 years, it will give us a pretty generic high-level summary of shifting consumer fragrance preferences. However, if we tell it that you are a marketing manager at a beauty company exploring new territories and asking it to summarize perfume trends in India for the past 3 years, it will provide a very targeted fragrance preference trend summary with details about sustainability and ingredients insights, online versus digital trends, key industry players. In summary, it will target the output towards a marketing manager, which is the persona we assigned it to. To talk about our first advanced concept, delimiters, this is the idea of using something to create a logical break in the prompt. So here we've used quotations to really highlight the input text that we are asking to be translated. You can see the prompt says, translate the text delimited by triple quotes to French. Here is that text with the quotation delimiters, and the output provides us with a translation. The second key advanced topic I want to talk about is step-by-step instructions. So really breaking down the processing of a prompt into concrete steps. Here we are telling the model that it will be given text delimited by triple quotes, and we want it to start by reading the text, then provide feedback on grammar and structure, move on to rewriting the text with recommended edits, and finally translate the text into French and Spanish. We have broken down what could have been a paragraph explanation of our prompt into very distinct steps that will help the model achieve that. Moving on to few-shot prompting. Few-shot prompting actually provides an example within your prompt for ChatGPT to emulate. So in this prompt, we've used a couple of the advanced techniques. We are telling it will be provided with a text, that its task involves 2 steps that we've broken down into step-by-step instructions. The first will be to summarize the text into 1 concise sentence. The second will be to translate that summary into French. We've given it more guidance in terms of creativity. We want it to not be very creative. And then we've used delimiters to provide the text to process. And last here, we've done what we call few-shot prompting, which is actually giving it an example of something that has already been summarized and translated. Lastly, ChatGPT is a great prompt engineer, so you can use it to help you write your prompts. Here we've asked it to write a prompt that processes company 10K documentation, and you can see that the output has given us a very detailed prompt. I'd like to move on to how to prompt within GPTs. Obviously, it's very important within GPTs for the model to follow the instructions. And so here, you can see that the prompt within GPTs is really broken up into different sections. Our key takeaways are to use section headers like context, instructions, example, use spacing as well as delimiters to visually separate key parts of the input, and use formatting like Markdown to help emphasize certain key headers, key pieces of information that the model should follow. Here's a good example of prompt engineering within a GPT. You might be creating a GPT for the HR team to answer questions. Instead of putting this block of text, ideally you're breaking into context with Markdown, saying you are a member of the HR team, and instructions that inform the GPT that the user's question should be found in the knowledge document or should be found by browsing the web. And if it cannot be answered, the user should reach out to HR. You can see here some of those callouts. Next, when it comes to GPTs that are connected to external tools via custom actions, it's important to pay close attention to action names and parameters and to understand their inputs and outputs. So here in a GPT where we are getting information on latitude and longitude and getting a weather forecast, we want to pay attention to the action name and the action parameter. In so doing, we can add that information into the instructions. So we provide our context. A user will ask questions about the weather, and you will provide a weather forecast based on that latitude and longitude. And we use the action name and action path to inform the prompt. Here we've used numbers to list ordered steps, made clear the action name and variable, and provided an additional note. Lastly, prompt engineering is always a process of iteration, iterating your expectation toward the model output. Our advanced prompt engineering best practices in summary are to include ample context, use delimiters, specify the steps required, provide examples, and specify your output. I hope you found this helpful.